I've been waiting.
Fellas, what's going on? It's Tommy Rocheston here from Rocheston Fitness. And yesterday I ran out of my protein supplements, and I mean originally I was a bit annoyed. Obviously, I can imagine most people when they run out there are just annoyed. But you know what I thought was I'll grab the opportunity by the balls and make a video about the pros and cons of supplements, and also a post-workout where no supplements are in it, which I'm going to be making. I'm showing you. So yeah, there's actually not much else to say, so let's get into it. So fellas, while I'm making that shake, now is the perfect opportunity to talk about the pros and cons of supplements, with particular regard to protein supplements when being used as a post-workout shake in order to hit the anabolic window. Now, if you don't know, the anabolic window is a short period of time after resistance training, or just any training really, in which a small kick of protein and also a bit of glucose should be taken for optimal sort of results, strength gains and muscularity gains. So, without further ado, let's talk about the pros. Now, although you may hear people always talk about how supplements are so bloody expensive, they're just like, oh, but I don't have enough money, I'm always buying my protein, always setting me back. Well, actually, I myself did a little study to show that protein supplements are basically far cheaper than natural food, like far cheaper. So what I did was I took one of the most expensive protein supplements out there, one of the best and one of the most expensive, the Optimum Nutrition Gold Standard 100% whey, and I compared it to one of the cheapest steaks out there to try and narrow the distance in cost, and try and make it biased towards protein seeming more expensive, which is not what I'm trying to prove here. And what I did was some calculations. So the gold standard whey has 29 scoops per tub and 24 grams of protein per scoop. And if you times those together, that means there's 696 grams of protein per tub, which is 29.95 pounds. Now the Aldi Ashfield Farm 21-day aged ribeye steak contains 39 grams of protein, and it's £3.09. This means it's £55.14 of beef per 969 grams of protein, which is the same as what I calculated in the tub of Gold Standard. And from that you can work out that Gold Standard is £4.30 per 100 grams of protein, while the beef is £7.92 per 100 grams of protein. So you can see it's almost twice as expensive, and this is when the beef is a very cheap one and the protein is a very expensive one. So I think the point is made there. It's obviously far cheaper. It's also very, very accessible. Anyone can go on. You can just go on Amazon, you can go on Optimum Nutrition, go on MyProtein, go on basically a lot of websites, Holland and Barrett's, and you can just order it online. And if that isn't good enough, or you can just go into your nearest town, and there's most likely going to be a shop where they sell protein supplements. So basically anyone can get them. They're very fast to prepare. All you basically need to do is get a bottle, put in your powder, put in some milk or some water, depending on what you want, shake it up, and it's made. Literally less than 15 seconds. So yeah, that's that. It tastes good and it's easily consumed. So, well, I say it tastes good. Generally, they taste good. I mean, often you have a steak that's, I don't know, maybe really chewy or just not very well seasoned, and often you won't really like it. Whereas protein supplements are basically very consistent, and they'll taste good. They're tailored to taste like a milkshake, so they generally taste good and they're easily consumed. It's a drink, no chewing involved, nothing like that. You just drink it down and it's done. They also keep unwanted macros down. For example, fats. One of the main points of protein supplements is they keep fats down, as well as carbs. Fats and carbs, they keep them down. Whereas, for example, in a steak, although you may get sort of 39 grams of protein, you may also get roughly, 15 grams of carbs, and then maybe 16 grams of fat, something like that. I'm just guessing, but that is the point I'm making. The macros aren't controlled in natural food. So those are all the pros. They're quite small pros, but they all do add up to quite a big sort of reason why you'd want to have supplements. Now for the cons. there are fewer cons, but they're much bigger. So, the cons. Protein supplements are not natural. They're either extracted from real foods or synthesized, and what this means is they do not have as many vitamins and minerals as natural food. So when you have, for example, a steak, you're having protein, you're also having carbs and fats, which you may not want, but then you're also having plenty of iron, vitamins, and other things that you want in your diet, which if you don't have, could lead to serious harm, whereas supplements do not contain these. So that's point one. Point two, although the macros could be the same in a protein supplement as in a natural food, only about 35% of all is actually digested, whereas in the natural foods it's much higher. Because of this, it's been shown through multiple studies, especially through those by Dr. Fernando Naclario, that strength and muscularity gains in cases with supplementation have been less than half than in cases with natural foods instead. So that basically means, I mean that's a quote, that, well, if you didn't really get that, it means supplements don't really go in. So although you're drinking them, not all of it is digested, not all of it goes into gains, if you will. Whereas natural food, pretty much all of it will go into gains, whereas supplements, a lot of it just passes through and you pee or ingest it out the other end without any of it being dissolved into the gut wall and without any of it turning into muscle fibers. Point number 3, supplements are not necessarily approved by the FDA, which is like the food sort of association which sort of approves all the foods, and thus could contain harmful things in them, such as in the case of 2010, where many mid-range supplements were found to have more arsenic, cadmium, lead and mercury than the daily recommended max intake. Now these are basically heavy metals, and these are extremely harmful when taken in large doses. They're important to be taken in very small doses, but in large ones they can potentially kill you, because what they do is, because they're so large, they can't be dissolved through the gut wall and they can't be digested or excreted. In other words, they can't be peed or pooed. So they just sit there and stuff up your body, and the way they do that is because they're such large molecules, the electrons in the most outer shell are very good at sort of ionizing things they come into contact with, for example your gut, which is not what you want. So that's about it. You'll have a look at the shake now. This took me a lot of time to prepare, so hopefully you guys learnt a lot, and please enjoy the rest of the video.
To make this my mission, give up the women before I lose half of what I own. I've been thinking about my vision, pour out my feelings, revealing the layers to my soul. My soul, the layers to my soul. Revealing the layers to my soul. I wish I would go ahead and fuck my life up.
Well, fellas, so made the shake. I worked out the macros yesterday because obviously I ran out yesterday, so I had to have a shake like this yesterday. So I
This nigga when he off his Lexi Pro. Remember that last time in Mexico? Remember that last time the episode? Asking me why the hell I text the code 4 times it's the same.
Literally just a milkshake. You can call it the dietary milkshake.
You ain't finna be raising your voice at me. Especially when we in the Giuseppe store. But I'ma have the last laugh in the end.
So yeah, basically huge calories. So obviously it's for a bulking diet, as I've said. So the carbs, that's why the calories are so high. It's just bananas, milk, yogurt, peanut butter, Milo. Yeah. Now we can look at the pie. So that's the pie. You can see very carb dominant with 220 grams of carbs, 61 fat and 58 protein. So obviously the protein isn't too high. But obviously it's more than enough for a post-workout, and carbs is just really good for a post-workout shake and then for like a meal. So yeah, that's about it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.